scared, ho. I heard it's good for your skin. What you scared for? If you want it that deep, pop your leg more. If you ain't want it this deep, what your big for? Ho, let me fuck your brains out, baby. Let me fuck your brains out. Don't be scared. Let me fuck your brains out, baby. Let me fuck your brains out. She motherfucking nasty. She do her motherfucking thing. That monkey tighter than a hamstring. Campaign to break her out proper. She never had dick that left that asthmatic broken. Hey y'all. How y'all doing tonight? Come on in the room. 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 What's up, Toolie? You already got the live like. Thank you. Y'all make sure y'all thumbs up this video on your way in the door, please. Por favor. Gracias. Mucho gracias. You can't run and you love to read sinister about people that can't leave each other alone. You know, me too. I'm like, this man done left this lady snaggletooth. There has to be something to this, okay? Okay, she's walking around mush mouth for the D. What are we doing here? What is going on here? And I remember like way back, like, because the original situation, the domestic violence thing happened in like 2018, right? And I remember I had just started my channel and a lot of people were asking me to do a reading on him. And I don't really know why I didn't at the time. I just didn't. And somebody else asked and I was just kind of looking back and I'm like, dang, I'm looking through my videos. Like I never did a reading on that. So I'll do that and then hop a little bit into the synastry components between he and Emily. And it was just so confusing to me. I was so confused because I remember Emily from Love and Hip Hop New York. She was a part of the first cast, like the original cast, like back in 2012. And I remember she would just be on TV crying. I have to stay strong. Fab. He won't. I'm like, girl, all of that over Fabalous. And then I had to go back and double check. And I'm like, okay, he has a chipped tooth. And I remember that. I remember he had the chipped tooth. And it was just like, I'm not really fully understanding the cat cheer, but she couldn't leave that man alone. She couldn't leave him alone. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Scorpio Forever. Lilith. Please do Making Good and her man too. All right. Thank you, Starlight Bright. Thumbs up. Pimps up. Y'all know the rest. I'm expecting that Pluto is involved. Well, you are correct. The lie detector test determined you are telling the truth, Lilith. You know exactly what the hell you're talking about because I'm going to allow a few more people to trickle in and y'all to get those thumbs up and it will start because, girl, you are correct. And let me tweet this link out real quick so people can know that we live at the party yaddy. Live. But how was y'all's week? How was everything for y'all this week? Was it just fine? What kind of week are we having? Let's check in. Let's talk about it. How are you guys feeling? Yaya the same way with Young Boy. But you know, with Young Boy don't claim her. And it's like, and granted, Fab didn't claim Emily initially. But I will say that when it comes to Yaya Mayweather in NBA, it's a little, I'm not going to say it's a little bit more embarrassing, but like NBA Youngboy don't ever speak on her, like ever. Like ever. Even before Fab knocked Emily's teeth out, you know, we kind of saw them together and knew they were together over time. With NBA Youngboy and Yaya, it'd be like night and day. It'd be like either she's crazy or he's crazy. Like I don't even know who's the crazy person here because it literally be like two completely different stories. Like he'll be having the time of his life, you know, frolicking through the bitches, and then she'll be off on the cut like, oh, like I'm in love and together for it. Just I'm like, wait, I'm confused. Like somebody's lying about this. Like somebody is not on the same page, and it's not even supposed to be this drastic. It's kind of weird. Working on schoolwork. All you ever been in is Pluto relationships. Damn. I've been toying with going vegan too, but I'm not even gonna cap. Over the years, when I discovered my blood type and I realized that my blood type needs meat, like it functions best and it metabolizes meat the best out of the other blood types, of all the blood types rather, it justified me. Like I felt vindicated. Like I can eat my chicken. Because honestly, I've kind of narrowed it down. I mean, I haven't eaten beef since I was like 15. But I also cut out pork around that time. But then when I got pregnant with my daughter, I started eating pork again because I tasted a little piece of pepperoni on a pizza and it was over with. I was munching on bacon. I was munching on sausage. And ever since then, the kid's been porking it up. I got pork on my fork. But outside of that, like chicken, turkey, fish, I love it. Now, I do agree that we don't need it in every meal, and I can commit to having plant-based days, you know, but just every day of my life, I like crab boils, I like chicken tenders, I like wings. That's just not really going to work for me. You've been studying to strengthen your skills in math. Come on, study. All right, let me take a look at how many people are in the chats or how many thumbs up we got, because I know some of the drifters be tripping at times. Y'all just be spying and creeping and don't be liking nothing. We got 27 people in the chat and 16 likes. So let's get to, I mean, we can do 25 likes. Let's get to 25 likes and I will start the reading. 25 is the magic number. 25. You think they both slow? He always looked miserable around here in the pictures. Going vegan is very, very hard. You love vegan food, it decreases your depressive episodes. I mean, that's good. I do know that it does come with a lot of verified, legitimate health benefits. Oh, I love fries too, though. I'm not gonna cap. Like, I'm a potato connoisseur, like potatoes in all forms. Okay, like I don't discriminate. So when it comes to mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, French fries, chips, those are my weaknesses. Like potatoes, I'm right there with you. No, Emily B is actually an Aquarius. She does have some Piscean placements, but we'll get to that. She is an Aquarius, which I wasn't necessarily expecting initially, but it made sense though. Hey, Lex. The sun is currently opposing my natal Mars and squaring my sun. You tired? Ew. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Oh, you a Cancer, Mars. Youch. Starch is my weakness. Facts. They daughter dating G Herbo with herpes. He over there got the Nestle Crunch date. You okay? a video about abolitionist Solomon Northup. You read his autobiography. Yeah, make sure you email that to me because I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably never going. Like, I'm not gonna remember. Just email it to me. When your Pluto is opposing someone else's sun, it can mean you could have a lot of influence on that person, but like it's typically like an unhealthy level of influence. It tends to play out in like very abusive relationships or maybe even codependent relationships. It can create a lot of toxicity where you could even try to dominate that person and take away their willpower. And it may not even be something that you're conscious of that you're doing, but you know, like if your Pluto, well, never mind. I was gonna say if your Pluto was opposing a person's Gemini sun, but that means you would be a Sagittarius Pluto, and you should not be alive if your Pluto. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I'm lying. Duh, Sagittarius Pluto. I forgot y'all some youngins. That's y'all's generation. So yeah, okay. In that case, it would deal with where a person could have a lot of like influence over a person's mind, like a lot of psychological influence over a person's mind, like playing mind games and all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? I'm tripping. I forgot y'all existed, Pluto Sag. Not Zum with a Z. Are you Zum? Yes, like the video, guys. Because we have 37 people in the chat. So welcome, welcome. Don't be rude. Hit the thumbs up button for me. It helps me a lot in terms of the algorithm and, you know, we're trying to grow the family. You're always the Pluto person? Yeah, girl, I know you toxic. I feel like I know you by now. You feel like the Pluto person loses more at the end. I mean, the Pluto person can have a much more difficult time uh detaching from the other person. I mean, y'all can kind of even get obsessive. You know, that's a perfect recipe for like a stalker or some shit, or like in extreme cases. But then again, Pluto is an extreme planet, so there's that. It's like, bitch, just let go, let me go, let me go. It's like, I can't let him go. If I can't have him, can't nobody have him. I'm not gonna lie though, because I got some heavy plutonic energy going on. I got my Mars at the 29th degree of Scorpio, y'all, and it's conjunct my sun. And you know, both the Mars and Sun can deal with the men in your life. So and this is the reason why I decided to, or one of the reasons why I decided to change the way in which I navigated dating and stuff, like sex, because I noticed that sex for me can really activate a lot of my Plutonian energy. And I am a stalker. Like I do turn into that girl. Like I know I have that potential. It lives within me. And I saw it firsthand when me and my daughter's father broke up. When I tell y'all, I was like, oh, so you want to test my crazy. All right, bet. I was popping out shit, hopping out. He was just like, please, let's stop it. It's like it's a pathological thing. You don't even try. It's not like you actively try. It's just you got to think about it too. That Scorpio energy deals with your instincts. It's like it's an instinctive reaction. It's a gut reaction, and it's because we're so obsessive. Like once you get a thought or an idea in your mind, once you get hooked on an emotion or a feeling or something like that, that shit play in your head over and 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 over. And it's like, I got to do something with it, because you could either implode or explode. Typically, when we're talking about that Scorpio energy, they implode. So, they can have all kind of meltdowns. But once I got to the point where I got tired, especially with my Mars conjunct my sun, because your sun is definitely like more outward levels of expression. I was like, somebody gonna have it. And it's not gonna be me. It's either gonna be me or you. And if I gotta ruin your life, I'm gonna just ruin your life. And I did just that. I ruined his life for like a good 6 to 8 months. I made his life miserable. So in that case, I was kind of like Fabalous. I'm not proud of it, but I can own up to my dark side. Venus trining Pluto in the natal chart can bless a person with like very healing and therapeutic relationships. Those are the type of people who just have a natural ability to help other people with their issues. Or you can attract partners where you can help them with their issues. But it's like in a good way though. Yes, I'm talking Byron. I'm talking all that. I remember one night, because I'm not going to give away too much, but basically, y'all know I got my stories for days. So basically, he was throwing a party because he was a football player, and him and all his friends on the football team, his little roommates or whatever, they was known for throwing like the biggest parties on campus. And mind you, I'm postpartum because I had my daughter in the summertime and I went to finish my final year. And I'm in my mindset, y'all, was like, so are you seriously going to leave me? You're going to break up with me right after I have your baby and we go back to school, and you just going, hey, what a party at, go da party, like, and then life is just good, and I'm at home postpartum, my emotions all over the place, and I'm a Cancer South Node, so once I get locked in my emotions, it's a rizzy. You heard me? So I'm supposed to be at home in my emotions, no baby, because my child is at home with my parents while I'm finishing school. I done gained weight. So, I had to cut all my hoes off when I got pregnant. You trapped me. That's really what I felt like. You trapped me. So you're going to pay for it. So whatever. I heard through the grapevine, they was, retweeting it on Twitter and all this stuff like, oh, house party, house party, house party. I said, oh, okay. We going to a house party like Meet Millie. So I had me and my roommate, we was drinking. And I remember I almost down like a whole bottle of Bacardi by myself. I got so fucking drunk. I was so fucking drunk. And I had my roommate drop me off. And she was like, Megan, don't do that. I said, no, drunk. Take me to that nigga house. Take me to that nigga house. And we pull up. So she waiting outside. And I knew if I walked through the front door, because his roommates didn't even like me. We didn't even like each other, but that's a different story for a different day. I knew that there was no way in hell they would let me in that party. So I had to use my noodle, like PB&J Otter. And I said, oh, because they lived in the house. And I was like, oh, them niggas don't never lock their back door. So what did I do? I hopped the fence. I went around the back of the house, and just like clockwork, because niggas is stupid and don't never change shit the fuck up, I went through the back door, and the first thing I see is bitches. I see bitches galore. I see bitches playing, what they playing? What's the game where you throwing the beer pong? Bitches is playing beer pong. I cute. Now, I don't see my baby daddy because I just didn't see him. And to be honest with y'all, I didn't care to see him. I was already drunk. I was already in my feelings. So the first bitch I saw, I just slugged that hoe and we just started fighting. And then, so I know that girl was like, what the fuck? Like, this random bitch is in here fighting me. And so then his friends discovered that an intruder had permeated the household. And they was just like, hey, I almost said his name. Let's call him. Let's call my child's father. Let's call him Bob. It was like, hey, Bobby, hey, yo, baby mama down, she crazy, bro. Come get your baby mama. Hey, bro, I'm gonna beat her ass, bro. So he comes downstairs, and he was just, the look on his face was like, leave me alone, please. So he was so mad. He was so mad. And yeah, so I forgot what happened after that. But then, like, the only parts I really remember about the rest of that night was me and him started arguing, and then somehow I got upstairs, and I guess he decided he wasn't gonna talk to me no more. And I don't, like I said, I don't remember what the argument was about or like what words were said exactly, but I just remember him locking the door, like slamming the door in my face, locking the door, and like the mighty Hulk she woman that I am, I took these big ass Sagittarius legs and I kicked the hole through that nigga door. Like, I was kicking his door, like, open up the door, nigga. And I just kicked the hole through the door, reached in, unlocked it, let myself in. And he was sitting on the bed, just staring at me like, I'm living in a fucking nightmare. This bitch is fucking psycho. And then his parents, because, because we was in college, he ain't paying for shit. So his parents ended up calling my parents because they had to pay for it. And it was just a mess. It was so bad. And my Capricorn mother was so disappointed in me. She was like, leave that nigga alone. Leave that nigga alone. All about a dude. Yeah, it was really the most ghetto, low class moment of my entire life. One of them. It was an all-time low. And in hindsight, I can't believe, but I was still young. I was 22, but I can't believe I allowed myself to be that retarded. Because now I look at girls who fight over men and who, do all of this extra shit. It's so embarrassing. Because it's not going to change the outcome of the situation. If he didn't want you, he don't want you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, acting out is not going to change it. If he's cheating on you, it's not going to make him stop. If, it's not going to fix anything. It's just going to create a spectacle. It makes you look crazy. And nothing's gonna change. Like, nothing's gonna change. So what's the Emery shoot? But honestly, if I would have had a gun at that time, I probably would have shot him. Like, I'm glad I didn't have no gun, because that's just how gone I was. Like, I was not really completely operating and functioning in the human realm. Like, I was on my like Scorpio shit. Like, my Scorpio Mars conjunct my sun. And that's the scary thing too. And even with me being a mutable, like, I'm a mutable sun and moon, and y'all always know how that mutable shit go. It's like, I can be really cool. And that's the thing that really gets people with mutable signs. And that's why mutable signs are the most prominent placements when we talk about serial killers, because they are the type of people where we can be very cool, we can be very chill, we can seem normal, until you really get to know us and we do something, or you do something, or something happens that really sets that trigger into gear, and then it turns into a runaway train. Like, with that mutable energy, there's no containing it. Once these people get angry, or once whatever it is sparks them and they start up, they keep going and going and going and going. We don't know when to stop. And my Mars is at the 29th degree of extreme. And like, so I talk shit on here with you guys, but I really do not like getting, like, when I get to the point where I'm so, like, I'm violently angry, I will go to prison. I don't like being, I don't want to do that to myself. I don't want to do that to myself. And like, very few times in life have I ever like reached that mutable trigger where I just start spazzing. And it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I came to and I was like, wow, it's embarrassing. I just embarrassed myself. It's sad. Capricorn moms can be so hard to deal with. I know a Gemini who threw his Capricorn mama, not threw the mama down. Well, that's that Gemini. That's that mutable shit too. Like, nigga, why are you throwing your mama down? But Capricorn moms can be very challenging because, I mean, they just can be. They're very much like hard asses. They can be real hard asses, tight asses about everything. And my mama hates everything that make her look bad. So imagine getting a phone call as a Capricorn woman that your daughter is out here putting holes in niggas' doors and kicking down the door and smacking a chick. You're going to be furious because my mama is such a classy woman. She's such a classy woman. She's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this over a man, Megan? And you know, my emotional Cancer self know that. So I'm like, you don't understand. Mama, I love him. Yes, OD. Okay. I remember using my birth chart reading and I used to anger issues, but it's true. You have a Capricorn mom, so you feel me. You feel me? Yes, my mom is very much a Southern belle, and she's a Libra South Node. So it's literally she hates confrontation. She's all about, you know, keeping up appearances and just being this super charming, refined individual. Like everything has to be like, it's about how we look. It's about how we look. It's about how we look. That's not a good look. It's not a good look. And technically, with me being a Capricorn North Node, I do need to embody a lot more of those traits. And as I've gotten older, hence Capricorn, right? Wisdom, age, I'm coming to the point where I can appreciate and I can channel that energy a little bit more than I could have, you know, being younger. When I was younger, I was a Cancer South Node, like to the T. Like Cancer South Nodes, we are driven by our emotions. We don't have no off. Even when I started YouTube, y'all, like I've gotten better now. I mean, and granted, I'm not like a big ass YouTuber or nothing, but I still have people like, if somebody have an opinion in the comment section and I don't like that shit, I'm not one of those people where it's like, oh, I'm gonna act like I'm famous and I'm not gonna respond. No, bitch. Take that shit the fuck somewhere else, bitch. You know, like that Cancer South Node makes you take everything so personally. You know, I remember this on my Keisha Cole video, y'all, the Keisha Cole live that I did. Somebody hopped in my comment section talking about, don't none of your readings be accurate. Bitch, how the fuck don't none of my readings be accurate? I can see if you had some viable critique. Don't even get me started. Anyway, point is, I went back and forth with that hoe. Like, bitch, but you here. You don't even like, and people are like, well, you're being a crybaby and you're taking it so personally. And I thought you were funny. I thought you were a good person. That's why I continued to watch. Well, bitch, I don't need you to watch me because I'm a good person. Bitch, I'm an astrologer first. And I ain't all that damn good of a person. So you really have no reason to watch, bitch. So, and they was like, I don't like it here. I'm like, okay. Like, you know, and I said all that to say, I don't even know how I would function being a celebrity because I don't know how they do it. But as I've gotten older, I have gotten better with learning how to like mature my mindset and practice a little bit more self-restraint and discipline and control instead of just taking things all, you know, turning it all the way up to another level. Like, I'm cool. Image focused Capricorn mom. Yep. Got on her nerves being a 50. Come on now. Oh, yes. You know, they can't stand that. The woman who raised me is a Taurus, and it's just oh my God. And my stepdad is a Taurus. So I feel you. Taurus is another one of those signs where it's all about image. And the crazy thing about Taurus is they tend to harbor some of the most, like the darkest, most fucked up shadow side because of that Scorpio polarity. But they're all about like, you know, being like this upstanding person. And so that, trust me, I get it. I get it. And they can come off as kind of hypocritical in that regard too, because it's like you be doing this and that, do that, that, but you telling me what I need to be doing because other people say, okay, whatever. Hey y'all, wow, both of my parents are Capricorns. Fixed. Oh yeah, I need to start a support group, y'all. For those of us who have Earth sign parents, I'm going to start a support group. We can just kind of all go around in a circle and share our stories. Maybe we can even get a check, because that is some real, like if you were raised by a Taurus, a Capricorn, a Virgo, you may be entitled to financial compensation. I hate when people get online defending celebrities like they're getting paid for it. I mean, literally, y'all be surprised. Like, I mean, I guess y'all wouldn't be surprised. Y'all know, y'all my soul tribe. But I mean, especially when we get to like the Beyoncé's, oh my God. Like, it's just, I can't do it. And like, I'm still working on my self-restraint to a certain degree. So it's like, you come in my comments talking stupid, especially about a motherfucker who don't know you exist, and I will have to explain some things to you. Your daddy is a Taurus. See, Taurus men really bother me. And like my stepfather is the reason why to this day, like Taurus men really irk my fucking nerves. I can't. And this is the stepfather who I actually got into a physical fight with, like this time last year. He was so abusive. And I think because I did his chart before, he has his son swearing his son in opposition to his Neptune, that Scorpio Neptune, which can deal with the nature of our relationship right there, right? An adversarial relationship, or where he's marrying or taking on a child that's not his, but it's like a burden. Like he views it as burdensome, or where he resents me, and he treated me like it, like my entire life. He was physically abusive, he was emotionally abusive, but the Taurus thing is like it's so much gaslighting going on, which is also that sun in opposition to Neptune, where it's like, because he is this upstanding, like good Taurus guy on the front, people on the outside looking in, like my other family members would not believe me when I would tell them the type of stuff he would be doing. Like this nigga was evil. He was evil. And like to this day, like people like, like his family and stuff like, oh, he be like that? I can't imagine. Well, bitch, imagine it, bitch. The fuck? Yes, that nigga is evil as fuck. You fought him? Why did you get? And you get him alone. You live with them Taurus niggas long enough, they will show you who the fuck they really are. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. See, Capricorns are typically the opposite though. They hate embarrassment. That's why that opposite polarity, or their opposite polarity, is Cancer. You get in a very similar way to that Taurus energy. You get them Capricorns home alone, okay, and then they're gonna show you what they're really about, like behind closed doors. But think Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce is a Capricorn South Node. Her mom's a Capricorn Sun. Blue Ivy's a Capricorn. That whole family situation is very much like that Capricorn shit. You don't really know, but deep, somewhere in between the cracks, their family is a hot fucking mess. I would pay to be able to just be a fly on the wall in their house. Beyonce trying to be like Rihanna with the clothing line. Yeah, I remember House of Darion, sis. Nobody bought it. Pack it up, Beyonce. Oh yeah, have y'all seen my video that I did on if Beyonce is a witch? It's old, so maybe a lot of the newer subscribers haven't. But yeah, they do. Beyonce has her Scorpio moon conjunct Uranus. Like, yeah, they do. And it also explains that cult like following too. Yep, Tauruses are very abusive. They can be. Virgo dad is a Christian pastor. Ooh, that sounds about right. That's a ooh, and Virgos make the worst Christians. And when I say worst, not necessarily in terms of them not following, actually because they are like sticklers for like following the rules too. They can be like, you know, doing things in order. Like it's almost like they're servants of God. And so like they make the most judgmental, the most like anal retentive like Christians where it's like, I'm a servant of the Lord. The Lord said, like, because my real daddy is a Virgo, but he's a Jehovah's Witness. And like every chance he gets is like, but Jehovah, King Jehovah, King Jehovah, King Jehovah, King Jehovah, King. I'm like, listen, I'm going to hell, so leave me alone. I don't want to hear about this. I was just saying, no offense, but I can't deal with Taurus, Capricorn men, maybe Virgo, but they lie. Yeah. And thank you for the super chat, Janelle. But big old facts. Big old facts. Like, I don't blame you. Everyone's going to hell. According to the Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, they said it's like it's going to be 10,000 people who are permitted to heaven. And I'm like, first of all, where the fuck did y'all come up with that number? Secondly, how the fuck are you so confident your ass is in the 10,000? You know how many motherfuckers on planet Earth? How you know you one of the damn 10, the 10,000? That's the part that be fucking me up every time. And he used to get so mad when I be like, meet you in hell, Pops. I would just say that to make him mad. Meet you in hell. He like, stop saying that. Stop it. You know, them Jehovah's Witnesses be so worrisome. I don't subscribe to cuss, Helen. I don't really subscribe to cuss. I believe you are what you are. The worst Christians I've ever met were Virgo. Capricorn and Yep. Honorable mention. Y'all know who can be some annoying Christians? Scorpios. Scorpio, or just when it comes to religion, because that Scorpio energy deals with it deals with a person who can be like an extremist. So can Sagittarius. Thank you for the super chat. Sally Speaks. Is it Sally Speaks? Thank you, baby. Y'all is blessing me. I love y'all. But yeah, they could be just very just overly zealous, like, and they're so passionate about what they believe in. They will literally like beat people over the head with it. They will force that shit on the people. Sagittarians can kind of have that way about them as well. And I always say that y'all Pluto, Sagittarius generation, depending on the aspects, like I've done a lot of readings for people who could have had families who are like really fundamentalists, like in terms of like religion, or y'all can be too, even though it may not be traditional religion, because most Pluto Sag individuals veer away from like, you know, standard textbook religion. They can be like whatever their beliefs are, right? That Sagittarius energy, when you combine that with that Pluto energy, it's just too much. Like, and depending on your chart, yeah, it's just like, oh my God, like give it a rest. Like they can just be so obnoxious and annoying with their beliefs. Like, give me a freaking break. Here we go, Dragon My Son. Scorpios love religion. Yep. Oh my God, Phaedra. Don't get me started on Phaedra. The head doctor. Your dad's a Sag rising. Yeah. Sagittarians can be really, really heavy on that religion. Real heavy. Your mother-in-law is a Scorpio, first lady. Oh, and you know, them the worst kind, them the ones, because you know, Scorpio, with a lot of Scorpios, it comes with a natural tendency to want to do wrong, and that's what be so funny about it. Because Scorpios be the type to go so hard in the paint about shit, especially when it comes to like religion if they're involved in it. But they probably be like the biggest fucking hypocrites. Sagittarius can be hypocrites too, but Scorpios be the types that like they be the types that give in the sin like every chance they get, you know, or that shit just really be fucking with them. The Scorpios in the church be the ones that be screwing everybody on the low, you know, get up in church and be, ooh, sing it, pastor. Oh yeah. Or if she's a Scorpio sun, her husband might be the pastor might be laying it low, spreading it wide. That's very Scorpio, laying it low, spreading it wide. Can't resist temptation. Then get in that pulpit and start hollering and wailing about the sins, your sins. You can't sin a sin against you sin against God. Like, all right. Alrighty. Hell yeah. Scorpio is a sinful sign. They be some little deviant, some little devils. And it's just the irony that Scorpio deals with like demonic influence, like literally like demons. It's like, girl, you done had a whole sex demon attached to you for the past 10 years, and you in church. Just hollering and shouting at everybody else. Sure. Okay. Gotcha. Giselle from the Real Housewives of Potomac is a Virgo first lady. Yep. Mm-hmm. Very judgy, very look at this. Oh, look what this person is doing. And they make themselves feel better because they think, you know, they're helping people. That Virgo shit. I'm the Lord's humble servant. That's very Virgo, being a humble servant. I am guiding the lost flock. I am guiding the good Lord's flock. Like, girl, go to hell. Stop telling my business. What sign would be the pastor that gets richer from the donations, has a mansion, I would say that would be like honestly, a lot of and when I think back to it, because I've actually done some readings on a lot of like mega church pastors and stuff like that. A lot of them have very afflicted either Taurus energy, okay, because Taurus obviously directly deals with, you know, income, finance, but it's afflicted, like or really afflicted Piscean energy, because a lot of them be scammers on the low. Okay, a lot of like fucked up like Neptunian energy, or like Neptune be aspecting they Venus, or aspecting certain parts of their chart real weird. You know what I'm saying? Jupiter conjunct Neptune, you know, Jupiter being your religion, your you know, you being a pastor, conjunct Neptune, where you swindling motherfuckers, where, you know, you might be a charlatan, where things aren't as they appear. A whole lot of Pisces South Node going on. It's just a whole lot of foo-foo shit. Like, them niggas is not who they want y'all to think. And that's also very Piscean and Neptunian in nature. They be hustling. They hustlers first. Joel Osteen, facts. Scammers. Joel Osteen is a fucking scammer. I remember when when the hurricane happened in Houston, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's a church downtown Houston. Oh, let's go ask Joel Osteen if he can open the doors." Joel said, "Nope." Joel said that will not be happening today. Not on my watch. No, I can't do that. Can't do that. Nope, can't do that. Not so much Venus sextile Neptune. Venus sextile Neptune is actually it could create a person who could receive like a lot of financial blessings. I see that in the charts of a lot of maybe even hairstylists, designers. Because you gotta think about it. That sextile is, for the most, it's positive. So it can afford one a lot of opportunities and, you know, things like that. But, you know, I'm talking about when I be doing these passage charts, it be like a whole lot of quincunxes, a whole lot of fucking semi squares, squares, oppositions. I be like, God damn, you niggas is fucked. Y'all is crazy. Okay, I'll do some readings on pastors. He locked that church down until people started dragging him. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Let me take a look here because, and of course, I'll just put a timestamp for all of the individuals who are watching this on the replay. On the replay. Oh my God, it's 35 likes, y'all, and 76 people in the chat. I need like 50 likes before we start the reading now. Come on, y'all. Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes all the way up. Venus sextile Jupiter. That's a really good aspect in terms of money. I mean, of course, the sign placements matter and other things matter, but just generically speaking, that could be really good in terms of money, in terms of acquiring lots of money. It could also be good in terms of travel. You know, a lot of these people could, you know, get some opportunities to travel or get like an all expense paid trip or something like that. Especially if we're talking about like Aquarius, like Venus and Aquarius or something like that. It could also even just deal with a person having friends who could, where there could be like soulmate like connections between a person and their friends, spiritual connection between the person and their friends, where you got a lot of friends who share a lot of your views and your beliefs. You know, a person who could be comfortable with dating outside of that race, long distance. You know, maybe they can have good luck, or you know, a woman who can meet a man when she goes out of town or something like that. Facts, Scorpio. Okay, cool. All right, bet. So let us get started. So let's head on over for Mr. So like I said, I'm gonna start with Fab. So according to the information I was able to find on the internet, Fabalous was born on November 18th, 1970. And you know what? Real quick, I'm gonna pull up his picture so y'all can be looking at that. Y'all have to get a visual understanding of Mr. Fabalous. I did not know he was Dominicana. Who else knew that? Who else knew this man was Dominicana? Because I didn't know he was Dominicana Mañana. Let's see. Let's pull up this little chip. Let me pull up his chip tooth. Y'all got to see this little tooth right here. With them big ass teeth. This nigga out here looking like Timmy Turner. He be wishing for a burner. Look at it. Look. But he got it fixed though. Okay, so Fabalous was born November 18th, 1977 in New York. And of course, his birth time is not on file, so it's debatable. But I did use the standard placeholder of 12 p.m., which would place his sun at the 26th degree of Scorpio. The first thing that stood out to me was that his sun being at that 26th degree, right? The number 26 can deal with a person who can be very sadistic, who can be very just cruel, who can kind of get off on being mean or punishing other people or inflicting pain and hurt on people. They typically are very miserable people, especially like the dark-sided people who exude a lot of that dark-sided 8 energy, very miserable. And y'all know what they say about misery, right? So that wasn't a good sign. Also, considering the fact that he is a number 18, him being born on the 18th, the number 18 can produce a person who is incredibly violent because it breaks down to the number 9, and the number 9 is sheer Aries energy. Okay, so these are people who can be very violent, very aggressive. Excuse me, people who can assert themselves like forcefully. They feel the need to forcefully assert themselves or assert themselves on the other people. And then when you break that number 18 down between numbers 1 and 8, the number 1 has a lot of Leo energy attached to it. So it's domineering. It's, once again, forceful. It's even tyrannical. And then that number 8 again, right? So need for control, sadistic, straight up cruel, just mean. And when you combine it with a sign like Scorpio, Scorpios are known to have a very nasty, mean streak. They can also be incredibly controlling. This could also deal with him being a cheater. Right away, when I saw he was a Scorpio, I'm like, oh, okay, so he probably did cheat. And as a matter of fact, with that 18 birth number, he could probably have some type of issues in regards to like hypersexuality. Like these people can just be, the types to like obsessively, compulsively, like obsessed with sex, or like if they're not having sex, they feel like there's a void, or they have to, and when you think about the Scorpio energy in and of itself, Scorpio likes to experience a variety of different sensations. And that's a part of what makes a lot of Scorpios tempted to experience things like, or to engage in low vibrational behavior, so to speak, or low vibrational activities, because it's the only way that they can really feel, like deeply feel things. And they could just be attracted to like forbidden stuff they know they ain't got no business doing. So especially when you put that in a man's chart, that could create a man who could just be a straight up cheater all day long, where he just has a hard time being faithful. Then he has his sun squaring his Saturn in Virgo at the 0 degree of Virgo. You can look at this as him being, once again, very controlling. He actually has a lot of Saturn-based energy, even with that 8, because the number 8 deals with, Capricorn, Saturn, which makes sense because Saturn deals with the teeth, and with his Saturn being afflicted, like that explains the chip tooth, him looking like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like it just makes a lot of sense. Like people with prominent Saturn influence look raggedy and ran over, and it's just like, well, why are your teeth doing what they're doing right now? So I thought that was very interesting. But even with like Saturn and Virgo does deal with repair. So I thought that was kind of interesting, like him having to get his teeth repaired. Thought that was kind of interesting. Having to get dental work done. These are people, once again, with that sun squaring Saturn and Virgo. Like I said, they could be very miserable. They are the type of people where, like, in order to feel like a man, where he has to be controlling or domineering. Okay. This could also deal with him having a lot of insecurities, him not being happy with himself. And a lot of it could also be tied to his career, where like maybe he feels like he's not getting the recognition that he deserves, or where he could try extremely hard to manage or control his image or the way that he's perceived by other people. This could also even deal with him having a father who is maybe strict or abusive as well. And then he has that Pisces moon. His Pisces moon is opposing his Saturn and Virgo, which absolutely reinforces a lot of those qualities in terms of overcompensating for weakness. And that's something that a lot of water placement men tend to do, right? Men who have a lot of water energy. So we're talking about that Scorpio sun, Pisces moon. Those are very feminine energies, and they have a difficult time really integrating those into their identity. And a lot of them tend to just kind of overcompensate by being just over the top and just going in the polar opposite direction. Okay. Especially because he also has a fair amount of masculine energy, like fire, in his chart as well, considering him being an Aries South node. And he also has his Mars in Leo. So I just feel like a lot of who he is constantly battling between the feminine and the negative, or excuse me, the feminine and the masculine. Okay. But this opposition between his moon and sun could deal with him being somebody who's just hard to get close to, where he can be engaged in one-side relationships, where he needs to be with a woman with whom he feels like he can mow or groom, a woman who, for all intents and purposes, has to be rendered helpless, And somebody just said, and has mom issues. Absolutely. Because this could absolutely produce mommy issues, right? And this could also even deal with Emily working for him at one point. Okay, him hiding her. And it also, and a lot of him hiding her, once again, has to do with his image, right? The opposition to his Saturn. His image. He's very much a stickler for his image and the way that he's viewed. He could also be the type to want to view women as like a fixer upper project. You know what I mean? So there's that. Then he has his Venus at the 10th degree of Scorpio opposing his Chiron at that 2nd degree of Taurus. The number 2 can deal with women. It could also deal with emotions. The number 10 also deals with his masculinity. So once again, this polar, this opposition, this standoff between who he feels like his emotional self, his feminine self, and his masculine self. But this could be another aspect that could deal with him just having major issues with women. It could be one of the primary sources of dysfunction, love-hate relationships with women, where he has to inflict emotional pain on women because of his own insecurities, where he can objectify women, or he looks at women as objects that he owns, things that can be bought and paid for. And it creates a I can't live with you, but I can't let you go type of scenario, where he needs a woman who he can toy with, but it's very hard for him to break those emotional attachments and bonds. You know what I'm saying? Specifically, even with his Venus also conjunct his Uranus at that 12th degree of Scorpio. This could be a couple that makes up, breaks up, makes up, breaks up. But the relationship is almost always tumultuous. There's almost always something going on. He's not capable of being in a long-term, harmonious, steady relationship. It could deal with cheating on both parts. On his part, on her part. It could deal with him being incredibly jealous. It can deal with them having an incredibly codependent relationship, where he likes to be with women who he feels like can't live without him or his money specifically. And not to get too far ahead of myself, after looking at Emily's chart, I feel like that's a lot of what it is. This is a relationship that is predicated upon what she's able to get out of it. Right? Or they have some type of alternative arrangement. It's not like a traditional relationship like you would think. And it kind of it put certain things into context. Because she's not as dumb as we think she is. But this aspect could create manipulative energy, vengeful energy, of course, making him a cheater, like I said before. And it could also create a person or a man who could be just very cold-hearted towards women, and just once again that mean ass fucking, almost like I said, objectifying, where they're no longer humans. He could just do some evil ass, weird ass, mean ass shit. Okay. Let me see. Then he has Venus squaring his Mars, which is always a telltale sign of a person who just has troubling relationships, where there's always something going on, especially with his Mars in Leo, where you could look at that where it's always relationship drama. And a lot of it could just stem around cheating, other people. You know what I mean? Then he has his Mars, the Leo Mars, squaring his Chiron, which reinforces, there could be issues with his manhood, him feeling like a man, This could also, I've seen this manifest in a guy who could have a small penis, literally. So, and it makes sense because Fab does give off little dick vibes. Where he can move off of emotion, where he has a wounded sense of pride and a wounded sense of masculinity, where he could be barbaric, once again, domineering, maybe even financially abusive. I definitely get that. That's also reinforced with his Venus conjunct Uranus opposing that Chiron and Taurus. This could deal with him being sensitive, where he needs attention, especially with his Mars at the 7th degree. So he's the type of dude, if he don't get the attention that he feels like he deserves, He'll throw a temper tantrum, and they can be incredibly violent. I wonder if he has had issues with money as well, like squandering money, gambling, because all of that, even child support, debt, money troubles, all of that. He's giving me all of those T's. Then he has his Mars squaring Uranus. That's another aspect that could deal with him blowing up, going above and beyond, where when he's just angry, he just gets very, hard to manage, where he could just snap on people, where, the type of people who brood over stuff over time and they bubble over and explode. It could just make him very tyrannical, very hard to deal with, my way or the highway. Like I said, just further create a person who is just, it's like hard to put up with, really hard to deal with. These are like, they can be some very mean ass people. Then he has his Aries South Node at the 12th degree, the number 12, dealing with victimization and sacrifice, which could also create a person, once again, who is angry, unpredictable, brutish, who needs to learn the ways of women in this lifetime. A person who is very inconsiderate, but also somebody who's just not relationship material. Periada. And every time he tries to strive for that Libra North Node, it's kind of one of those situations where I feel like he's fucked if he does. You damned if you do, damned if you don't, because even him trying to obtain that Libra North Node, he's never going to have like an authentic relationship because of that Venus conjunct Uranus, because of how afflicted his Venus is. You know what I mean? So a lot of his relationships are based in trauma and codependency, and he gives me like I said, I hate you, I hate being with you, but I can't live without you vibes. But I can't live without you, baby. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Then you take into account Emily B., who was born on February 10th, 1981. That 10 energy, okay, that Leo energy. And when we're talking about the charts of women, these are women who can be very male-centered. They are liable to have a lot of issues when it comes to the men in their lives. And they can be drawn towards men who are hyper-aggressive, hyper-masculine, that kind of thing. One of the biggest things that stood out to me was Emily Saturn and Jupiter at the 9th degree of Libra are conjunct Fab's North Node. Okay, that Libra North Node. That number 9 could also deal with violence. Once again, 12 dealing with victimization. This could deal with Emily being a glutton for punishment, where she feels like love is struggle. But she identifies with the relationship so much that she's willing to take it. And that's also very telling, considering that she's also an Aquarius sun and South Node. So she has her sun conjunct that Aquarius South Node, which initially is not what I was expecting. I was much like y'all. I was expecting maybe, she's giving me very much Cancer, very much Pisces kind of things. But when you think about it, it kind of also makes sense, because another part of Aquarius is the person who could kind of go along or who can overly identify with the collective, and with, that co-ruling planet of Saturn, okay, being at that 9th degree of Libra, that is, it could just deal with where she is a person where she's just naturally going to conform, or maybe not even conform, but she could just be the type of person to be a follower, or to kind of, go along with whatever relationship she's in, where she places so much of her own identity into the relationships that she has with other people, where she can even be like easily impressionable, that kind of thing. And with her, of course, the sun dealing with the man in your life, where it's just, and a lot of her relationships are steeped in like past life karma. Like, they're going to be very karmic. They're going to be relationships that are binding and very difficult to get out of, and where she kind of feels at home. And one of maybe even convenience, where she has to navigate and maneuver her way around in a relationship. And, now she done got a footing, and it's just, she's going to accept the relationship for what it is, no matter what it looks like. You know what I mean? Then with her Saturn conjunct her Jupiter, you can even look at that as like her even allowing herself to be in relationships where, that removes her, that strips her of her freedom, essentially, especially conjunct his North Node. Like, he could just be like, that's him. And with his Pluto conjunct his North Node too. So I think, hold on. His Pluto's at the 15th degree of Libra. And so, yeah, his Pluto would be conjunct her Saturn. It would be conjunct her Jupiter, where he is just, she's really like under his thumb. She's under his thumb, like where he could just do her how he want to do her, like literally. And that could also point where their relationship can get really violent, where there could be a lot of like domestic abuse, obviously, that could result in court and legal litigation, obviously. But you can even look at that as him like knocking her teeth out too, especially with that Saturn conjunct his Pluto opposing his Aries South Node, where he just said boop boop beep, boop 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 beep, and just knock that teeth straight out, like just knocking them straight out. You know what I mean? So I mean that's pretty unfortunate. Or like you can even look at like the Aries South Node as the face, where he hitting her in the face, pulled a knife on her. Okay, that's very Aries South Node. Guns, knives. I know somebody said something about him having guns, and that's very Aries South Node. That makes sense. And even on the video where he was like, I'm gonna shoot y'all, I'm gonna put a bullet in, very Aries South Node. Very Aries South Node. I don't necessarily think she's stigmatized though. I think she is in a relationship of convenience. One that works for her. Because his Venus is even squaring her North Node, her Leo North Node. So you can also look at that as him constantly cheating on her, stepping out on her. He might have brought her back an STD or two. Who knows? But also like her coming up off of his money. I'm really getting a lot of that. Then his Mars at the 8th degree of Leo is opposing. I said it was 7 earlier. My bad. I was using 2 different times, but according to this thing I got in front of me, it's 8 at the 8th degree, which I mean is even more number 8 energy, is opposing her Venus in Aquarius, which could deal with him dominating her, overpowering, where he could just steamroll, clean, smooth the fuck over her ass. Like she, it is what it is. It's not a real cute matchup. Not at all. His Uranus is squaring her North Node, so that's more tyranny. Their Venuses are squaring one another. So I don't even think that they may necessarily be attracted to one another, honestly. Excuse me. So, but I will say, his moon is conjunct her Mercury. That Pisces, and that makes sense. She does have Piscean energy. His moon, that Pisces moon is conjunct her Mercury at the 4th degree of Pisces. But her Mercury is also opposing his Saturn at that 0 degree of Virgo, which literally deals with him having mind control over her. Like I said, no matter what's going on in this relationship, he has her right where he wants her, and he knows that. And I think she rationalizes it by the things that she can get from it. Periada. And she does, and somebody else asked if she had relationship, if she had self-esteem issues, which she does, because that Chiron is at the 13th degree of Taurus, squaring her nodes. So you could look at that as her absolutely having self-esteem issues with her self-value. So, just crazy issues, where she can even attract men who have issues with their self-esteem, where it's just like, she's just bound to have these super dysfunctional relationships with men. And obviously it could have started with the father. But it's like these people can take a lot and they ain't going nowhere. So. Well, damn. So, yep. And then his sun is opposing her Mars. She's a Pisces Mars. That's another placement that can create a person who just ain't even, they'll just take it. Like they'll sacrifice themselves. They'll just take it. They'll take all the abuse, take all the controlling behaviors, all the, extra shit. They'll just take it and not really do nothing about it. So, sad day in hip hop. I really don't feel that bad for her, but It is what it is. So, yeah, we knew that first. When she was on Love and Hip Hop. Exactly. It's like, okay, girl. I will. Batman, well, I feel like he could have some money problems. That's what I'm getting on this end. So, but she could also, with another way to look at that Venus conjunct Uranus that he has in his chart is like where they could even be emotionally dependent, like emotionally codependent on one another. Stockholm syndrome is real, which is very much her Mercury in Pisces opposing his Saturn in Virgo. Stockholm syndrome. And where she could just like idealize her man, like, oh, for what he could be, for what he could be. Exactly. Yeah, I hope her daughter don't go down the same path. I just her and her daughter got horrible taste in men. Like, granted, everybody just because don't nobody like Ari Fletcher, everybody like praising G Herbo like he was just the innocent one. But anytime you have toxic relationship dynamics, it's not just one person in the relationship, bro. That's something that I wish people would understand. That's something that I really wish people would understand. It's like it's not just one person in the relationship that's toxic. And that nigga head looked like the last piece of bread, the booty piece of bread that you skip over in the loaf. And he got them big old fucking Rufus naked mole rat teeth. And I'm not fully understanding. I don't even know why Ari thought he was. I don't understand all the way around. I just don't get it. She had it that way with her. Yeah, did y'all see that video? It is old. It's a video of her. Y'all know that song he got. I would play it. I might just play the video and turn the sound off, but it's like a video of him rapping that song where it's like, let me lick you up and down. Well, he's talking about like some, I'm a fuck. Like it was like a gangster ass sex song. Like, yeah, I'm a fuck you girl. I'm a fuck your throat. Yeah, I'm a bust it. You gonna bust it open. I'm gonna leave that pussy smoking. Yeah. And he was singing it on stage to Ari, and Ari had her hands over her mouth like this nigga was singing fucking like he was singing New Edition or something. Like this nigga was singing like the ultimate love song. Like he was singing down on bended knee. Like she was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, this is the most ghettoest thing I've seen in my whole life. She was so flattered. She was so flattered and taking her back. I'm like, wow. These hoes is I can't with this Chirac love story. Yes. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Y'all gotta see it. I'm gonna turn the sound off so I don't get dings because y'all know how YouTube's on. I just want y'all to just see and just imagine him rapping. Like, yeah, I'm going deep in it. I'm busting them guts, girl. And she's just like, oh my goodness. Oh. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. That's when I knew this relationship wasn't shit. Let me lick you up and down. What it says, G Herbo Lollapalooza? Is that what it is? 2018. I feel like they was broken up longer than this. But I guess not. Are Pisces women the same? Pisces women can be very, I would say a dark-sided Pisces woman. Think of like, trying to think of somebody. like Janae Aiko, like they toxic, but depending on what they got going on, they know how to cover it up a lot better. Because of that, Pisces is a mutable sign, but they definitely can be crazy behind closed doors. They can be very, like, literally, they can be mentally, like, unhinged, like the dark sided ones, or they can be drug addicts, they can be liars, they can be thieves, they can do a lot of gossiping. I think Tasha K is definitely a dark sided Pisces. Like, don't tell no Pisces bitch shit. She's a hater with a big round face and big breasts. Damn. Dang, sis. Not sis hating. Yeah, they definitely can be. They can be some true blue haters, like just really weird. And that's why I mean, because I got a Cancer South Node, so I have to stay away from women or just people in general with lots of Cancer energy. I just don't like the way it feel. I feel like I got a lot of other stuff in my chart to balance mine out, but I could definitely see a lot of those attributes in a lot of the Cancer. And interestingly enough, all of my best friends are Cancers, but I only have one best friend who acts like a true Cancer, like a true Cancer. So, and my daughter's a Cancer. I'm actually surrounded by them. Oh, I hate Cancer men. Don't get me started. Cancer men are the worst. Cancer men are intelligent. I don't know about that, Chief. Especially not emotionally intelligent. All it takes is one bad aspect, and them niggas is fucking psychopaths. Especially when we think about like where Cancer is placed in the charts. Like Cancer sun men might fare a little better with like even Cancer moons. God forbid a nigga with his Mars in Cancer. Oh my God. It's giving very Chris Brown. It's giving very beach ass nigga. It's giving beach ass nigga. Tease. Cancers are the best of the best. Oh, I forgot you was a Cancer, Tuli. Please tell me your big three, because you got to have something else to balance you out. And that's another thing. Cancers be taking shit so personally. And I'm being a hypocrite kind of now, because like I just got done telling y'all that I do have the tendency to take things personally. I'm not even gonna cap. I'm not even gonna cap. And even as a Sagittarius, like we tend to be able to dish shit out, but we can't take it, which makes us hypocrites. So I own my shit, but like shit, it's annoying when other people do it though. So when other people do it, I'm like, damn, okay, that must be what I look like. And then I get annoyed and upset. Taking everything so personally. Like, bro, cry baby ass. Go suck your mama titty. Not Cancers are corny. The Cancer man I met was super intelligent, and the Pisces man was super intelligent too. It's got to be coming from somewhere else. Cancer men, the pimps of the zodiac, big facts, along with Libra. I don't know my chart because I don't know what time I was born, but I think my moon is in Pisces. Dang, you got a lot of water. Born on June 29th. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Did you have issues with your neighbors? Or lots of like domestic issues? I think you have, because I've done I remember talking to you in confidence before. Never mind. Oh yeah, them Cancer Mars. Whenever I think of Cancer Mars, I literally think of Chris Brown. Cancer Mars seems like a little dick. Yeah, they can be. They can have little bitty Peter whackers. Not always, because so it also depends on how how the planet is being aspected. But like in a vacuum, yes. You said you be emotionally in a dark place at all times, but you don't bother nobody, especially with that Pisces moon, bro. I'm like, damn, son, you gotta reach out for some help or something, because that's got to be overwhelming. Yes, his dick was little but curved. Oh, Chris Brown had a. Oh yes, I remember. Dang, I wish I could show it on here. He had a little penis. Yeah, y'all want to see something? Is he in the chat? I don't think he in the chat because I would have saw his name. It's this dude from the last live that I did when I had people send in pictures. I'm too tired to do the guessing game tonight. I guess I'll go live this weekend and we can do the guessing game. Okay, guess that ascendant. We can do all that good shit. But it was the dude who sent me his dick print. And I not the dude who was trying to not my client who was being flirty. It was another guy. And it looked pretty decent. But I also have trust issues because I feel like niggas think just because they have long dicks that it means that their dicks are big. Giving me very much pencil dick, giving me very much number 2, giving me very much protractor, giving me very much, little candy cane. Chris Brown used to be cute. He not cute. He looked like a crackhead. He looked tired. He looked like a tired crackhead. And his penis, because you got to think about it. Around the time his dick pics released, we already high off of "Let me take you down. I really want to take you down and show you what I love them about. Body, oh, Don't you be on that bullshit, yeah. Don't you be on that bullshit, yeah. All night, so fly, girl. So you just got all this running around in your head, like, I bet, and then he can dance too. So it's like, I bet he know how to make something shake, honey. And then you see it, you like, ew. But he don't like black girls like that, no way. So I learned that real quick. That's another, once again, that Cancer Mars strikes again. The colorist. The colorism. You went to his house. Oh, you went to his high school with a girl who slept with Chris Brown, and his friend, she never worked on his dick like she did other flings. Now I'm questioning why. Well, that's why. Because that dick was very mediocre. Maybe he might be, because he can dance so well. Maybe he might be an example of, like, how they say it's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean, whatever. I say if the boat ain't the proper size, I ain't getting on that motherfucker. It's staying at the dock by the seashore. Okay. I don't want no parts. I am not hopping on a little tugboat. Chris Brown love everything that's not black. His address on Google. I'm not wasting my stalker tendencies on a damn Chris Brown. Chris Crackhead Brown. Virgo Mars, man, I'm kind of scarred because my stepfather is also a Virgo Mars individual. And I mean, depending on other placements, to be fair, they can be very like those are the type of men where it's like, if you got some shit broken around the house, they need fixing. They make excellent handymen, but they can also be violent as hell and very insecure, and ain't nobody got time for that. Also very controlling and particular about shit too. Ain't nobody got time for that. Girl, smash Chris Brown. I mean, if he had a check for me, sure, I sure would. But for enjoyment and pleasure, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Soldier Boy laughing because he threw Karuchi down the stairs. This shit ain't funny, but it is. I saw that in a meme the other day. That shit ain't funny, but it is. Soldier Boy, another one. He beat up women too, and honestly, I don't even know how he beat up women because it's like I did a reading, a sinistry reading on him and Nia back in the day, and I'm like, Nia, big thick ass girl, why don't you monkey stomp that nigga? Soldier Boy got a body of one of these crackheads out here on Fulton Industrial. He just looks so scrawny and skinny and just like it's giving very much feed the children. It's giving very much in the arms of an angel, fly away from here. Every time I see him flash across my TV screen, why is you letting a nigga like this whoop your ass? Fuck around with me. Me and my daughter been there and jumped your ass. My daughter Aries South Note too, so we with all the shit. We been to beat Soldier Boy ass around these motherfucking parts. I wish a nigga would. Boy, goodbye. Not the F word when he first came out. I think he has some insecurities about his sexuality too, though. I'm serious. What? I think so. Just sick. He lost even more weight. Rumor he has HIV. Well, God bless him. I will fight all these niggas. Now I ain't gonna fight all these niggas. I'm gonna choose my battles. I probably wouldn't even fight Chris Brown because Chris Brown still got some. I mean, his face all sunken in, but this nigga a dancer with hella stamina. Like, come on. And just as a general rule, I do believe men are stronger than women. It's just that Soldier Boy is so incredibly fucking frail, and he literally has the body of a pubescent child. I probably just take my belt out and just lay his ass out flat and spank that nigga like his mama should have did. Little Soldier Boy. Boy. Y'all said Soldier got that package. I beat the shit out of Chris Brown the way he beat up Rihanna. Nah, I'm gonna just shoot the shit out of Chris Brown. That's always been my thing. And God, and that's y'all know me. Y'all know my Scorpio Mars at the 29th degree. Very homicidal. I could be very homicidal. But that's always been just in the back of my mind. Like if I ever get into like a domestic situation where a dude is just knocking me between the washer and dryer, I'm gonna just shoot his ass. Honestly, I'm not even finna try and fight you. I'm literally going to shoot you, clean through your Adam's apple, and that's gonna be it. And you're gonna be gone, and I'm gonna be smart about it because I'm gonna let him get away with it like the first time, so he think he can keep doing it, so I can like go file charges and put it on paper, so that way when I go ahead and pull out the yapper and pull out with the stick, let it hit, pull out with the stick and let it hit. They'll be like, oh, defense, it's on file. He was very abusive, and now I'm out of jail and you in hell. Works for me. We got the same Mars too. Damn. So how has that manifested for you? Because it's actually one of like the most difficult placements I have, and it has definitely taken a toll on my life in major ways. Rihanna was squeezing his nuts, trying to rip them off. Not squeezing his nuts. That's actually a very creative way to fight. If I was in a domestic situation, you would poison him. You are such a Pisces moon. That is so Pisces. That is so Pisces to poison somebody. Oh, that's funny. Mm-hmm. Scorpio in general could be a very homicidal sign. It could be suicidal too. But like these are people who can commit, what do you call it? Crime passions. Like in the moment, they just black out. I like this whole shit up. Play with it. Rihanna was probably beating his ass too. At first, I thought people was like victim blaming when they said that, and you know, Pisces is a sign of the victim. But then when I considered she was an Aries moon and ascendant, I was like, oh yeah, okay, she probably was. Yeah, she probably was. I can't see no Aries moon ascendant person just sitting there getting beat on and just saying, stop it, please, stop it, please. I used to love watching Jocelyn beat up Stevie. You hate finding any type of violence. I mean, it depends on the way it's aspected and the condition. Because, like I said, my Mars is at the 29th degree. That's literally the degree of extremities and fuck shit. So, and you got to look at how yours is being aspected and what's going on. Because typically for Scorpio Mars individuals, like Scorpio isn't necessarily a sign that engages in overt acts of violence. I mean, they can, like I said, in extreme. I'm giving extreme examples and scenarios, and extreme examples they can be pushed there, depending on other factors in the charts. But ideally, not so much. And like I said, Scorpio deals with like implosion. Like, so a lot of times they can be self-destructive when they're angry, which I can be too. But like I said, sometimes I can't take it no more. And when I reach my limit, it's over with. Capricorn Mars individuals, they can, but I noticed that they're very like strategic about, they have a lot more control over the things that they do. You know, Capricorn is one of the signs of like the military, like the general. You know what I'm saying? And then when you place it in a militaristic planet like Mars, it's like these people have really good control. I mean, not to say that they can't be violent, but these are people who know when to do, what to do, how they do. It makes me think of like Nicki Minaj, because she's a Capricorn South Node and a Cap Mars. When they was at that little event and Cardi B that's a really good example actually, because Cardi B is a Cancer Mars, which is literally the polar opposite, where once again your actions are driven by your emotions directly. You all over the place. Oh, I'm gonna throw a shoe at her, even though damn well you can't get next. So like, and you got Nicki Minaj just sitting there like, okay. And everybody's like, oh, she's scary. No, bitch, she's not easily moved. Because she been coming for her throat ever since. Capricorn Mars people can be very brutal in their own way. Oh my God, Azalea and that damn cat, y'all. Hold on, let me see something. And you know what? Y'all know, for those of y'all who have been on my channel for a while, y'all know I am an advocate. I'm a very avid, I should say, defender of Azalea Banks. Just because I do feel like society throws away Black women. She's clearly unwell. She's clearly unwell. She's clearly not rap tight. And I have always kind of empathized and sympathized with her in terms of just feeling misunderstood and, blah, 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 blah. And not to mention, even though she may say things in a manner that people don't like, she may be cruel, she may be harsh, whatever. I would say at least 60-70% of the time she has a point. And so these are the reasons that made me just tolerate her. Not even tolerate her. It was just like, oh, she's my problematic fave. However, it was the digging up the cats for me. And I'm just like, do y'all know how bad a rotting cat boiling in a pot has to smell? Yeah, I love her music. I'm gonna always love her music. I'm at a point where it's like I can't defend her like I get paid for it now. Cause my good sis needs some help. My good sis needs some help. Like she really needs some help. And then calling everybody fat. It's like, girl, you are anorexic looking. Everybody else is not fat. You're just, but you know what else she also has? She's also a Cancer South Node, and that's actually another really big thing that I don't think a lot of people take into consideration. Cancer South Nodes can definitely have some really bad mental health problems, y'all. Especially with it being in her third house. Yeah, she could have some. She has some mental health issues. Then she got her Chiron conjunct her South Node. She could just be the type to like these are people who have like they can have what do you call it? They could be very emotionally disturbed individuals. People where it's like they're tormented by their own imagination, by her own thoughts. She has some deeply rooted issues, and it's beyond her just being a Gemini. That plays a lot of it. That plays into it a lot. Dark sided Geminis can be twisted, but she's very ill. Even looking at her chart, then she got that moon, that Capricorn moon, at the 10th degree. almost in opposition to her South Node. My mom's just got some real deep issues, and I hate it for her. Then she got that Pluto. Let's see what I can find about her sacrificing animals and shit. She got I found it already. She got Pluto in the 6th house of Scorpio, opposing her Mercury, y'all. Her Mercury at the 21st degree of Taurus in her 12th house. That's literally her sacrificing a pet. Or even like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Sacrificing pets. Or her like doing weird shit with animals. Yep, then she got Mercury conjunct her ascendant. Mercury in opposition to Pluto. For all we know, she probably killed that damn cat with that Mercury opposing Pluto. In her 6th house, you gotta think about it. Your 6th house deals with your pets, so does Mercury. Those are people who probably pets be dying and shit. She probably fucking strangled that damn cat. Even though they said it was already dead. Who knows? Her chart is very disturbing to look at. I'm trying to see. And And y'all also got to think about it too with that Cancer shit. Her having that Chiron conjunct her Cancer South Node and Venus. She's just gonna be a hater. And the older she gets, typically as a Capricorn North Node, you're supposed to become wiser, more experienced. But some of these people can just be bitter, honestly. And that's just true tea. Then she got her Mars conjunct Jupiter and Leo and opposing Saturn and Aquarius. That's her doing crazy shit. Or she's okay with being infamous. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad to see. Then she and with that Venus conjunct Chiron, she's not going to be able to have like really good relationships with people. You know, she's always going to have fucked up relationships. Always. And also when you consider that too, that three-way conjunction between her Chiron, her Venus, and that South Node, that could deal with her having a lot of self-hate issues. You gotta remember she bleached her skin, which is also very indicative of her North Node. That Cancer North Node conjunct her Neptune, actually. Yep, because she got Neptune in opposition to Chiron. You could look at that as her dyeing her skin, but like it not looking good because it's opposition. She is a cold piece of work, just like she did them. And you know, I was willing to. I don't know why I was willing to turn my head the other way with the chickens. I mean, the chickens was already a bit much for me, but I was like, okay, let me. Okay, maybe there's like a reason for this. Like, I don't know. It's a ritual. Maybe let me not be judgmental. Maybe it's something I just don't know about. I don't know. But then when she started boiling cats, that's why I got to draw the line somewhere. She bleached her skin, yeah. Who? I don't care. Hold on, y'all. I'm replying to something. Okay, I had to reply to something. You don't want her to touch. I can only imagine how exactly that shit. Look. Who's actor Army Hammer? Who is that? Who that be? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who? But I'm finna get on up out of here because I'm tired. Truth is, I'm tired, and I need to go to bed because I told myself I would stop staying up all night long. So I love y'all. It's been real. I will definitely keep this live up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, make sure you do so on your way out. Share this live with a friend. And I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.